2.5 million have been sold in 10 countries, and on the day they were due to be launched in the UK, the electronics giant Samsung is having to recall all of its newest top-of-the-range smartphones. A small number are reported to have exploded or caught fire while they were charging. The Galaxy Note 7s were launched just a fortnight ago. This report from our technology correspondent, Rory Jones, contains some flash photography.
At Europe's biggest technology show, it's Korea's Samsung which makes the biggest noise. And its star product this year is the Galaxy Note 7. This supersized smartphone has won rave reviews in the US and Asia and was due to go on sale in the UK today. Then this happened.
Hey YouTube.
This American man posted a video on YouTube claiming his Galaxy Note 7 had caught fire, and similar reports arrived from around the world.
Be careful out there. Everyone rocking the new Note 7. It might catch fire, y'all.
Samsung held a press conference to announce a radical move. The company was halting sales and recalling the Note 7. A battery issue was behind the fires, though just 35 out of 2.5 million customers had reported problems.
35 is a big number, and I think that Samsung is doing the right thing and siding on caution and taking the devices off the market, figuring out why there is an issue with the cells in the battery, which seems to be the problem.
This news could hardly come at a worse time for Samsung. Not only does it overshadow the launch of the Note 7 and the many other products on display here, it comes just a week before its deadly rival has its own big phone launch. At an event in California next week, Apple is expected to unveil the latest iPhone. Its sales have disappointed lately, allowing Samsung to pull ahead in the smartphone race. But will such bad publicity affect the way the Samsung brand is seen? We asked some phone owners in Leicester.
You don't know if it could happen again or with any other phone, or it still put me off.
Sure. It probably wouldn't put me off, and the reason being is, like, large companies tend to put things right.
In Berlin today, Samsung continued to show off the capabilities of the Note 7, which even works underwater. But customers will now need reassurance that they won't need to take drastic action with a phone which catches fire. Rory Jones, BBC News, Berlin.
With me now is the global phones editor for the technology website Tech Radar, Gareth Beavis. Gareth, this is obviously damaging for Samsung, but how damaging?
It's not great, of course, because basically this is the phone that was supposed to be an iPhone competitor coming up. It was one of the best phones Samsung's ever made, and so to have to recall it so quickly is never great. I mean, the good news is, I suppose, that it's only just gone on sale, so there's fewer to recall. But for a tech company of this size, it's never good.
£700 each they cost approximately, and just as the new iPhone's about to come out. So this couldn't have happened almost at a worse time.
Well, no, the theory is that Samsung may have moved the launch up to make sure that it has a competitor in the market ready to take on the iPhone should it launch next week. And so to actually have to take it off sale gives Apple a real open goal in a very competitive market.
How many cases do you know that have now been recorded of fires during charging?
Well, it's been jumping up day after day. We saw a couple to start with, then it went to 24 yesterday, and now Samsung's saying 35, which out of about 1 million doesn't sound like a lot, but for something that needs to be very safe and you need to feel real confidence in the product, that's just too many. And that's why Samsung's taken this move for safety, just to make sure it doesn't have, a worst case scenario than just them hurting people in very small amounts.
So what would your advice now be to Samsung? We saw at the press conference there with saying safety of our customers is number one. Have they done the right thing, and what should they do now?
In terms of if the widespread rollout meant that it wasn't so bad, but ultimately safety is number one, and by Samsung doing it now, nipping it in the bud because only a few countries have had the release, this is absolutely the right thing to do. It's damaging, yes, but in terms of safety and bringing confidence back to the brand, this is exactly what needs to happen.
And how long will it be, do you think, before the relaunch could happen? Because one assumes that's going to take weeks or months.
Yes, well, we're hearing from a couple of sources that the minimum probably will be about a month, but ultimately it could be at least a couple of months until they're absolutely safe and absolutely back on the shelves, because different places around the world need to do this, and ultimately they need to be sure they're absolutely safe.
And of course the issue now is that every single Samsung product, every single launch that it has is going to be really carefully scrutinized.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they already were, because it's, as I said, a very competitive market, but this is going to be possibly, hopefully just a running joke for Samsung in the future, because it will hopefully clear it up and make all the devices safe. But yeah, this is going to be a real pain point for the future.
And just one last one. It's an incredibly competitive market, isn't it? And something like this will have, we talked about the damage, as you said, but because it is so competitive, if it's even more accentuated?
To a degree, yes, but I think after the couple of months is up and the phones are back on sale and basically Samsung, this huge company, has said, look, they're safe, we took more precautions than we needed to perhaps, that will probably rebuild confidence, and come next year when we see the new phones from Samsung again, I'd imagine things will be back to normal.
All right, Global Phones Editor for Tech Radar, Gareth Beavis, thank you.
Thank you.